RuneScape is a game about getting lucky, and using that luck to your advantage to unlock new content. So what if I took luck completely out of the equation by eliminating all my possible good luck, leaving only the bad? Meet my never lucky Ironman, forks only, because this account is not getting spooned. This account will not be able to keep or use any drop that is received before the drop rate. Later, once I get further along, I'll periodically take all the drops I have to get rid of and give them out to my viewers and subs. My goal with this account is to complete the Inferno, and I'm not going to stop there. This is my story. Please subscribe to my only forks. I mean forks only. What is up, gamers? FCast and Chill here. Today I'm going to be doing a lot of different stuff, progressing a lot of different areas of my account, but right now I'm just kind of thieving these fruit stalls in Hosidius. I actually wrapped up getting 100% Hosidius favor, and now I'm just kind of hanging out here until I get my thieving up to 50. The reason I want 50 thieving is twofold. One is it actually opens up a shortcut in the Underground Pass quest, and in my last episode I actually used that shortcut, so I'm just showing the process of getting 50 thieving now. But also, it's going to be really useful for thieving from master farmers, because you can start thieving from them at 38 thieving, but I want to get up to 50 so I have a higher chance. And master farmers are going to be really important to the herb lore training on this account. We can talk about that in a little bit, but before I can even get to master farmers and do all this farming stuff, I need access to the farming guild. And the problem with that is early tree seeds on this account are very challenging because most tree seeds are a pretty rare drop from stuff, and I'm just not able to keep those rare drops until I get those high kill count numbers from normal enemies. So I'm actually just going to use the Tithe Farm to get my farming up to the point where I'm able to enter the farming guild. And that's what I'm doing here. So the Tithe Farm is just a mini game where you get a bunch of plants from the farmer outside and you have to grow them all. And once you do that, then you deposit them in the barrel and there you go. You get a massive dump of farming XP. Usually when people do Tithe Farm, they do what's called the 20 by 5 method, where they'll plant 20 crops at a time and then wait for them to grow and do that 5 times to plant the full 100. But I'm actually doing something kind of sweaty here called the 25 by 4 method, and you essentially just have to make sure your character pathing is correct to run efficiently from spot to spot in a loop, and you can actually plant 25 of these crops and collect them all and water them without any of them dying. So that's what I'm doing here. But I'm just going to hang out here till about 45 farming, because then I can enter the farming guild. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to that. Alright, and we collected a batch of 100 of these fruits, so let's deposit it in the sack over here and see how much XP we get. And there we go. Oh, would you look at that XP drop? That's just so wonderful. Man, 9k at once, that feels so great, especially when you're a low level like that. And you can see it, there we go, I'm at 46 farming now. So yeah, I think we're good to go and enter the farming guild, and I can start thieving from some master farmers. So master farmers are going to be really useful because you can thieve almost any herb seed from them, and like I said, I'm going to be training my herb lore up a lot, and so I'll need those seeds. Especially the Ranarr seeds, I'll want those for prayer potions, so those are going to be really important. The challenging thing about master farmers is most of these herb seeds are pretty rare, and a few of them actually depend on your farming level. So it's going to be a little tricky to calculate what the actual drop rate is for these. So there's actually a calculator here on the wiki you could see where you input your farming level and hit submit, and it changes the rate of 4 of the herb seeds. So that's the Guam seed, Ranarr seed, Snapdragon, and Torstal seeds. And so Ranarr is the one we're interested in here. So you can see at my farming level of 46, the current Ranarr seed drop rate is about 1 in 464. And as your farming goes up, that Ranarr, the Ranarr, Snapdragon, and Torstal seeds just get more common. So here I'm just going to say, okay, I'm starting thieving at 46 farming, so I'm going to need to thieve at least 464 times successfully before I can keep any of these Ranarr seeds. And again, I want to do this because Ranarr seeds are used to make prayer potions, and I'm going to need a lot of those for my later PVM. other sources of Ranarr seeds are very rare, and with this account's restriction, it's going to be hard to keep them. But this, you know, if I just sit at Master Farmers for a long time, then I'll definitely get some Ranarr seeds that I can keep. So let's go ahead and get into that. So right now I'm just thieving from this Master Farmer, and each time I get a seed, I'm checking it against the drop table over on the wiki, and that's basically resulting in me dropping all of these. So we're just going to keep doing this until we get our thieving count up a bit, and I'm just keeping track of it on a spreadsheet here. I actually have a massive spreadsheet where I'm keeping track of everything for this account. It's a lot to manage, but it's going well so far. So I'm going to stay here for a while, but you know what I just realized? There's something called the Rogue's outfit, and when you have that, you get double seeds from the Master Farmer every time you pickpocket him, and I didn't bother to go get that. So I should probably go do that right now. That's another reason why I wanted to get 50 thieving, because you need 50 thieving to do the Rogue's Den minigame. So let's take a quick detour over there and go get that outfit. And all right, after several hours, I have a couple pieces of the outfit now. This is really painful, especially since each time at my level, each time you complete it, there's only about a 1 in 5 chance you get a piece of the outfit. So the first 5 times I wasn't able to keep any of the pieces I got, and now I'm just going through this extremely tedious course where, you know, I don't have any stamina potions, so I can't replenish my run energy. So I'm just doing a lot of walking, but yeah, it's pretty tedious. I guess the good news is, you know, I don't know if any of you watched the Gielinor games, but this was in the Gielinor games at one point, having to navigate the Rogue's Den, and now I feel like I'm an expert at it. So if I ever do get big enough to make it into there, I will be able to crush this challenge easily. But yeah, this is a pain. I'm just gonna stay here for a few more hours and wrap the outfit up. And there we go, finally, the 5th piece of the Rogue's outfit. And now when I equip the full set, I will have a 100% chance to get double the items from thieving. So that would be, you know, GP from anybody I'm pickpocketing, or seeds from the Master Farmer. So that's just excellent. So let's go back to the farming guild and just camp there until we get to the Ranarr seed drop rate. And I wasn't actually recording, but you can see here I did get a pair of Ranarr seeds from him, but I am only at about 345 pickpockets. So that means I have to get rid of these. And I'm actually going to say I think these are valuable enough to where I should give them out and donate them. So this is actually my first item now I'm going to hold on to give away to some of the viewers at a later date. I know previously we talked about potentially doing the Falador party room to give away these drops. We could do that. I could also do some sort of random number generator where you guys sign up and then I just give out the drops to people. I could even sell the drops and then give out the GP instead. I really don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. I might throw out a poll later to get some feedback from you guys. But yeah, I'm going to throw them here in this tab in my bank and just have a running tab of everything that I need to give away. But this is a start. So yeah, I'm going to go back to the Master Farmer and do some more thieving and hope I can get some more Ranarr seeds. But yeah, it's exciting. Now I have something to give away to you guys. All right, well, now I'm over 1,000 pickpockets from the Master Farmer, and I still do not have any other Ranarr seeds that I'm able to keep. So it's a bit unfortunate, but you know, I'm okay with it. We'll get some eventually. I think I'm gonna take a break here from thieving and do something else. I didn't actually talk about it, but in the farming guild, another huge benefit is I have access to this large compost bin here. And I can throw some pineapples in it that I bought from the charter ships, and I can use those to make super compost. Then after I have the super compost from there, I can put in some volcanic ash that you can just mine from Fossil Island in there to get ultra compost. And that's extremely helpful just because it protects your plants a lot more, makes them a lot more likely to survive. And also it just, you know, produces more yield too. So it's kind of a win-win situation. I'm going to be doing a lot of mining for ash on Fossil Island and buying pineapples for the time being. But yeah, it's really exciting to have this bin. So let's go ahead and get some ultra compost. And there I've put all the pineapples in. Now I'm going to go mine some ash over here. It's going to hang out until I have about 500 or so probably. And then now we're back in the farming guild and I am taking the ultra compost out of the bin. So there we go. So One other thing that I want to do in this episode is I want to talk about Wintertodt. And Wintertodt is interesting because the drop rates depend on your current levels and a lot of skills. I mentioned before that I actually want to do Wintertodt right now, not for the items, but for the XP. So the XP, the reason I want to do Wintertodt is if you're doing solo Wintertodt, it's actually amazing construction XP. And I want to get my construction to 25 as soon as possible. Because when you get 25 construction, you can make a workbench 2 in your house and then use that to create clockworks. The reason I want clockworks is so I can start doing birdhouse runs on Fossil Island. Birdhouse runs give you a ton of hunter XP, and as your hunter level gets up, you get a bunch of seed nests. Now, seed nests have a chance to drop some really useful farming seeds, a lot of high-level tree and fruit tree seeds that I can use to train my farming. The problem with this is seed nests have a role on a seed table, and you can see here that a lot of the higher level farming seeds are pretty rare. So the first several seed nests I get, I'm likely not going to be able to keep anything, so I'm just going to be dropping the seeds. But as I get my seed nest count up, I'll eventually be able to hold on to these. So I really want to start doing these birdhouse runs as soon as possible. So I'm going to go knock out a couple Wintertodt to get my construction XP up, and then I can start doing that. In terms of the Wintertodt drops themselves, though, I am not going to open any of the crates I get right now, but I do want to talk about it briefly. So there's actually a calculator out here on the wiki, and you can input your current level in all of these different skills, and it will tell you your chance of getting any item from Wintertodt when each time you get an item roll. So the way the game works is Wintertodt, you get points for doing different actions. You know, whether that's healing one of these pyromancers, lighting the braziers, cutting down the trees, fletching the logs, and putting them in the fire. All of these things give you points. And the more points you get, the more items you get from the Wintertodt at the end of each kill. So what I've actually done is I've taken this information from the calculator on the wiki and pasted it into a spreadsheet I have here. And with this spreadsheet, what I can do is I can input how many points I get from each game and kill count, and it will tell me whether or not I've unlocked the ability to keep any of these items now. So you can see here, as I put in different amounts of points for each kill count, the more I type in any of these items over in columns K and L, they'll automatically highlight green once I've reached the drop rate for that item. So you can see here, I don't have any, but then let's just put in a lot of points for some of these kill counts. And now you can see some of these rows are highlighting green. So then after that kill count, from then on, I can keep that item. This is going to be a bit hard to keep track of, but again, I'm not opening the crates right now. We'll talk about it later when I actually do start opening some of those. But yeah, just kind of cool spreadsheet I put together to keep track of my Wintertodt stuff. But again, let's just go knock out 25 construction and move on with it for now. All right, and here we are at solo Wintertodt. So this is actually pretty easy to do. You just kind of make a lot of potions and heal up the pyromancers and camp these braziers. Wintertodd's pretty interesting. If you don't know, the energy that Wintertodd's at will actually affect what different attacks it uses. And so once you get it below 15% energy and keep it in that 5 to 15% range, that's when it'll use the attacks that smash the braziers way more often. And that's what I want, because when I repair those, it gives me construction XP. So my goal with doing Wintertodt right now is going to be to get its energy down to 15% as soon as possible, and then try to keep it in that 5 to 15% range with one of the braziers lit so that I can keep repairing it when it gets smashed. And honestly, I probably should have brought a bit more food. This is going to be pushing it for this kill count, which is a little scary because I'm a hardcore Ironman, but you know, it's okay. Let's just live life on the edge. I don't need to, you know, be too cautious with everything. So let's just keep going. Let's skip ahead here a bit, and you can see I'm actually out of food here and my health is down to around 20. But we do have the Wintertodd's energy around 15% down in that range. And when you get him down there, he stops using the cold attacks as frequently. So hopefully we can ride out this kill count. We'll just, stay here because I want to go ahead and get the kill count. And you can see when I'm soloing, I already have, almost 3,000 points. You get a ton more points doing this method compared to the mass game. So when I do finally open these crates, I'll get a ton of drops. But yeah, this construction XP is just going to be excellent. So yeah, let's hope that I don't die here and get some good construction XP. And my health's down to 14 now, but we're still going strong. Wintertodd's down to 8%. I think I'm just going to finish this kill out just so I don't die and come back later with more food. And still going strong. You can see Wintertodd's down to 2% health. And there we go. Okay, so I got the Wintertodt kill. 16 HP left, but that's okay. And so that score of 4340 that I got here, I'm going to put that into my spreadsheet so I can keep track of the drops. And now I'm going to bring a lot more food back and do another kill or two to wrap up 25 construction. All right, and there's 25 construction. So now I'm able to go craft the workbench 2 in my house and then start making clockwork. So let's go do that. And here I am making the workbench 2. And there we go, got some clockworks, and yeah, I think I'm good to go now. I can start creating birdhouses and doing birdhouse runs, which is going to be amazing for my hunter level, which is really exciting. And there's some hunter levels. Here's some more hunter levels. And with that, I'm actually, if you look here, I'm at a total level over 1,000 now. And that's pretty awesome because now I can go to the Ironman tutor here and lock in my Ironman status, which is pretty neat. It's, a really early game accomplishment, but it does feel kind of wild. I feel like I just started with this account's journey to already be at 1,000 total level, but it's good. I'm making a ton of progress. I feel good about it, and I'm excited to start getting into the later game stuff soon where we get to do some of the more interesting bosses and see what items I have to give away. But there we go, permanent Ironman, got it set up, and there we go. I am an Ironman forever. All right. Now the last thing I wanted to go over in this episode is, you can see here, I was blasting these blue dragons for quite a while to collect a bunch of dragon bones. I was using Iban's Blast at first, but I realized that was getting very expensive very quickly. So I actually just went back to using the basic Fire Strike. And it was actually kind of nice because it was super AFK and something that I could do during work, just stand in this safe spot and blast some dragons and collect their bones. And so I did that and got a massive amount of dragon bones. So let's take them to the Ectofunctus. And so here I am at the Ecto, and this is pretty slow, but it's much, much safer than using the bones in the Chaos Altar and Wildy. And each bone that you do this with, you get 400% XP compared to just burying them. So definitely a good approach, and I have plenty of dragon bones to get 43 prayer. I'm actually going to stay here until 45 because that unlocks the Mystic Might and Eagle Eye prayers as well. But yeah, I'm just going to hang out here and get my overhead prayers and Mystic Might and Eagle Eye. And there's 43 prayer, so I got all my overhead spells unlocked, which is just huge for the account because now I can protect from magic, ranged, and melee. And there's 45, so I have access to Eagle Eye and Mystic Might. So yeah, I got the prayer item completed on my checklist, and now the last thing I have left in the early game is wrapping up this farming and herb lore. So super exciting. I'm almost done with this, and then we're going to get into what I need to do in the early mid game next. So I think that's it for this episode. Thanks again for watching. I hope you all had a good holiday season. And I really appreciate all the support I'm getting from you guys. Again, if you have any feedback at all, just let me know in the comments, and I'll have a poll coming out soon to see what we want to do with those Ranarr seeds and anything else that I'm going to be getting. So yeah, thanks a bunch everyone, take care.